G'day friends, and welcome to our Anything Goes Saturday, where Robbie and I share or create with whatever we have in our stash. And today I thought, well this month, I thought we'd play with a mini album. So today we're just going to be creating our cover, and then each week we'll do 1 to 3 pages creating them for the album. So I've already pre-done one. So our album is going to be 6.5 by 6.5, and that should fit a 6 by 6 pack of paper or 6 by 6 paper. Okay, so I've already done one cover, and then we're going to do our second one. So I thought I'd share with you how I do that. So I've grabbed a piece of cardboard. It's from a box actually, and it's pretty sturdy, so I'm happy with it. We're just going to grab our scoreboard, and we'll put that in there like that. This is just to keep it nice and straight, okay? Then I have leftover cardstock that I've created for our sides. I always like to make sure that it's nice and even around the sides or the cardstock. So, and this measures, I'm only using 3/4 inch sides on the covers, only because I've used an A4 piece of basic black, okay? I do have 12 by 12, but I thought we'll see if we can use an A4 size. So that's why we've only got the 3/4 inch sides. Now all I've done is added some double-sided tape or score tape I should say, to this piece of cardboard, and I have got a couple of wrinkles there. I'm just going to see if I can pull those out. It's just one there. I try and make sure my score tape or double-sided tape is nice and flat, but obviously that didn't happen that time. I always use the double adhesive method on the covers of my albums. So I always put tape down first, and then I follow it up with glue. And the glue gives you a little bit of wriggle room as well. That's what I like about it. And all I'm doing is putting it up against that strip of cardstock, okay? And that way it's nice and even all the way around. Look at that. Move that out of the way. We'll move that out of the way. Then we're going to come in with our bone folder, and we're just going to burnish along the cover, just to help the adhesive adhere. Once that's done, we'll put it aside and let it dry. Once the cover's done, I should say. Then I grab my bone folder again, and I will just gently burnish or score along the edge of that cardboard. And that just helps to bend our cardstock. Then I will grab it, and I'll just maneuver each side along that scored line. just like that. Okay, you can do this if you want to, just to help it along all the sides, but I don't worry about that. So now what we're going to do is apply our tape. Now you can do this now, or I'm just going to take this, all that sticky stuff off our scissors, or you can do it once you do your sides, but it doesn't really matter. Burnish your tape as well, okay? That helps it to adhere a little bit better. And I also put a piece of tape along the edge of our cardboard. Okay. Just like that. Now, we're going to do our sides. You can actually just grab your scissors and cut along there so that you've got about 1/16 of an inch space on the corners. But I've got this little doobie dacker. I don't know where I got it from, but all I do is grab a craft knife and I cut along that, okay? But I can't find my craft knife, so I'm just going to use a pen. And I'm going to go around all 4 sides like this. Oh, we are Memory Keepers, is that the name of the company? I've had it for a while anyhow. We did make ourselves one in a class that we did a little bit ago, so you could even make yourself one. Okay. And then all we're going to do, if we can see our lines, is cut along those lines. Just like that, okie dokie. And we just take off the tape on one side, add a little bit of glue along that tape line, down the sides, along the edge there, down the sides, and then I also do one along here as well. Now before you do the tape it down, just pull these back a little bit, okay, just like that. Turn it over gently, rub your finger along the top. I always start from the middle, and then I grab my bone folder. Anything that you think may work will work, just like that. And I always do my edges like just burnish along that corner there, because you want your edges nice and neat. Okay, so I've just done that there on both sides, and that will turn over nice and neat. Then I put these sides back down, and we're going to repeat for this side. Now you don't want too much glue that it squeezes out all over the place. I'll probably put a little bit too much in that corner, but we'll see how we go. Just like that. And again, I'm repeating the same thing. I'm just going to score along that, or burnish along that fold there on that corner, so it'll fold nicely. Then we're going to grab the other side. Now I always do the opposite sides. It seems to work a little bit better, I suppose, and keeps it nice and straight. And that's what you want. You want your album, your cover really straight. And again, I'm working from the middle, flicking it over and just going along the sides like that. And grab my bone folder and just gently, that's going to stick out a little bit. I just grab my scissors and just even it up. When you do that, make sure you're not cutting your cardstock. You're only cutting that little bit that's poking out, eh? And I just burnish that down. So that's the piece that I cut off, the tiniest fraction. Hardly worth it, but then we're going to do the opposite side, eh? Same thing, little bit of glue along the edge there of your cardboard, up the side. Just like that. Turn it over and just gently go along that piece there. And again, grab your scissors if it's not right. It's only on one side. And then you're right. Okay? So that's your two covers done. And hopefully they are exactly the same size and they're nice and straight. And that's just sticking out a little bit there. So I'm just going to grab our bone folder. Yeah, so they're nice and straight and even all the way around and same size. So put them aside for the time being. Then we're going to bring in our spine. Now the spine is, I think it's 1 3/4, yeah, 1 3/4. And all I did was just grab a piece that was left over from one of the A4 pieces of cardstock. Okay, grab this again, put that there, these down here, and we're going to do a spine. So again, taking off our tape. Now you don't have to use tape if you don't want to, but if you're going to just use glue, just make sure it is really nice and it's a good glue that sticks. So you don't want your album coming apart, eh? we go. We're just going to put that there, just like that. Move all these. I don't throw those away, I keep them. And I've got to laminate them actually, but I just haven't got around to it. I'll do it next time I pull the laminator out. We're just going to go across, just to burnish that down. Just like that. Now it's probably a little bit wider on one side and along the bottom, but doesn't matter. Now what we're going to do is the same thing, grab our bone folder and go along the sides of our cardboard. And again, just help it to fall into place. Okay, just like that. Now, what we're going to do now, I'm actually going to score along here. Because we're not going to stick the sides down, we're only going to stick the top and bottom, okay? We'll see why in a minute. So just take your time, don't rush it. Okay, that's done. So all we're going to do now is grab our tape, same thing. You can rip the tape off, but it's just force of habit. I just stick it down, and there's a bump there, so I'm going to cut that off. We don't want that little bump. And we'll do the other end. Oops. I'm just going to burnish along that tape to help it stick down. Then all we're going to do is lift the top of our tape up, add a little bit of glue again, turn that over. This cardboard's got a little bit of corrugation in it, but I don't think it's going to hurt it actually. And it's probably thicker than what I would normally use. But it doesn't matter, it'll still work. Just like that, okay? And that is our cover done. I'm just going to bend that across a little bit more. And that's that. Now what we're going to do now, this is the part I always tend to get a little bit mixed up. So we've got to stick this to here and that to here like that, okay? So we need to put tape on these sides. Now when you're putting your tape on these sides, don't go right up to that line there. Just go about 1/16 from the side. And burnish that down, eh? And then repeat for your second one. Not right up to that line, just about 1/16. Oops. Just going to cut that off. I'm not happy with it. That's better. Okie dokie. So now we're going to put these two pieces together like that. No, it's this way, isn't it? Just like that. Okay. And you can just see a tiny little bit down that side. Okie dokie. So we'll take off our tape at the top of the tape, add a little bit of glue for our wriggle room, and the same with when you're adding your tape or your glue, don't put it right down there. Now if you wanted to, you could mitre these sides a tiny fraction, but I don't think I'm going to do it this time. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I hope I'm getting this right. It's a little bit overcast here, so it's and that looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty straight, and it looks actually. Can I get that off? Yeah, that's a bit better. You want to be able to bend it flat. That's what we're aiming for, eh? So we're going to grab our bone folder again, and we're just going to burnish along the line. That's that adhesive. Just like that. And then I always come from the outside as well. And I will also score down there or burnish down there. It seems to do away with any creases that you may have. Okay, and that's that. I won't play around with it too much because I want it to dry properly. Okie dokie. Then we're going to repeat the same side, the opposite side. I tend to leave the best cover for the front. So if you're not happy with one cover, don't stress, because just select the best one for your cover. And that looks pretty good to me. Look at that, nearly perfect. Same thing, just burnish down that side. And again along the right side. Okay, and that, look at that, pretty neat. Happy with that. That could come over a little bit more, but you know what, it's okay. And that is our cover. We will do the inside of our cover, but we'll do that in our next video, eh? So make sure you come back next week, next Saturday, and we'll do the inside of our cover, and we'll also do 1 or 2 pages, eh? Okay, now don't forget to click on the link below in the description, and you will be able to check out to see what Robbie has created. Okay, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. See ya. All right.